Hey everyone, welcome back to Unorthodox Cricket. Now overnight there was a little bit of a disappointing game between the West Indies and India. It was a real chance for the West Indies to push on and make a late play for that semi-final spot. However, in the end, India proved too strong and the West Indies rolled over without too much fight. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a quick look over that game and just where things went wrong. Secondly, I've spotted a couple of weaknesses in that Indian team and I really think they can make a couple of changes just moving forward to put them in a strongest position for the semi-finals. Also, Johnny Bairstow's come out overnight and he's criticised the English fans for being negative, so we'll take a quick look at what he's got to say there. And then finally, we're going to finish on Marcus Trescothick. Overnight, he's announced his retirement from first-class cricket, so we're going to celebrate a fantastic first-class and international career from one of the greats of the game. So as we take a look at last night's game between the West Indies and India, India won the toss and elected to bat. At the end of their 50 overs, they managed to get 268 for 7, with Virat Kohli top scoring with 72. Now, another classy knock for Kohli, and he was very disappointed with the way he got when he eventually pulled one straight to mid-wicket. Another interesting innings from Dhoni, started very slowly yet again, but then closed the innings fantastically and ended up on 56 not out. The best of the West Indian bowlers was Khmer Roach, who bowled fast at the top and took wickets, took 3 for 36 of his 10, and then Jason Holder took 2 for 33 of his 10. So going into that second innings, the West Indies had a real chance of creating an upset. Unfortunately, they were 143 all out with not a lot of fight. Sunil Lambris was the top scorer with 31, and another fantastic bowling performance from Mohammad Shami, finishing with 4 for 16, and then Bumrah 2 for 9. Both bowled attacking, took wickets, but they were also economical, and at the end of the day, West Indies didn't stand too much of a chance. So this result means that the West Indies are out of the World Cup, and also India take one step closer to securing that second semi-final position. Now after last night's game, I took a look at the Indian team just to try and pick apart any weaknesses moving forward into the semi-finals, and I think I've found one. Now for me, I can't for the life of me figure out why Vijay Shankar makes the Indian team. As we look, he's got 1,617 List A runs at an average of 36, and he's taken 47 wickets at an average of 33. So for me personally, that's not strong enough with either bat or ball to justify a place in the team. Now, what I would recommend is bringing in Rishabh Pant, who, as we can see, he scored 1,011 runs at 29, so it is lower than Shankar, but as we've seen in the 2020 format, he's such a destructive player. So in the 2020 format, he scored 2,440 runs at an average of 34, but also a strike rate of 161. Now looking at the balance of the Indian team, I don't personally think they need Vijay Shankar to be used as a bowler. They've got plenty of bowling options there and they're really not lacking in numbers. So we have to really look at Vijay Shankar as a pure batsman. And with that List A average of 36, I don't think that holds up. So what I would suggest is Kedar Jadhav moving up to that number 4 position, bringing in Rishabh Pant, and then having a mixture of Dhoni and Pant in that 5-6 slot, depending on the situation. Making these couple of changes really strengthens that batting lineup. You've got that added firepower and X factor of Pant, and it also gives Kedar Jadhav a bit more responsibility, who's averaging 47 in List A cricket, and I think needs a bit more time at the wicket. So that's just my thoughts as an outside perspective. If you're an Indian fan, let me know what you guys think of those changes. If you've seen a hell of a lot of Vijay Shankar and you think he is qualified to do the job, also let me know. But just looking at the numbers and the squad in general, I think bringing in Pant and giving a little bit more responsibility to Kedar Jadhav is really going to strengthen up that whole Indian batting lineup. So this morning, Johnny Bairstow's basically come out in reaction to a couple of negative comments around the English cricket team, and he said this: "People are waiting for us to fail. They are not willing us on to win, and in many ways, they are waiting to get that loss just so they can jump on your throat. It's a typical English thing to do in any sport." Now, just looking at the media, there have been a couple of negative comments around the English team to do with their back-to-back losses and moving forward in this World Cup. Now, there is a huge amount of pressure on this English team. They've come into this World Cup as favourites and the number 1 team, and a couple of losses has really put them under the pump to qualify for the semi-finals. Now, the English people in general, they do like to criticise their own teams, but I think that's just purely because they are passionate and they have had so many disappointing World Cups, not only in cricket but across football and rugby as well. So I don't think it's that they want England to lose. I think it's that they're so passionate and they feel like it's finally their turn to get the World Cup. And now things are slightly starting to fade, and it's really come down to these last couple of games for the English team to get back on track. So it's not easy for both a fan of England and a player for England. As a player, there's huge expectations, and as a fan as well, you've sat on this moment for a long time, hoping this moment would come, and now we're at this sort of stage of the tournament where things could slip away. But being a sportsman and a fan, you've just got to come to terms with these sort of things. I don't think it's bad from either the English team, they're obviously trying to win, and from the media and the fans. It's just stressful time. So I don't think anyone's in the wrong here, and they've just got to hope that England can play their best, and the fans really get on board and support the English team. Now finally, a bit of sad news for the cricketing world. Overnight, Marcus Trescothick has announced his retirement from first class cricket. Now, what an absolutely phenomenal career he's had. He debuted when he was 17 and he's going to retire at the age of 43, creating a 26-year career at the highest level. Now, as an absolute traditional cricket fan, I just love these kind of guys who get into the game so early, have such long careers and really give back to the game. I can't imagine the amount of guys who have come up playing with Marcus Trescothick and the knowledge that he's passed on to the youth of the game. Now, as we take a look at Marcus Trescothick's career, as we can see, 391 first-class games. Now, that alone is just phenomenal. 391 four-day games over 26 years. That's really going to take a toll on the body. And to go along with that, he scored 26,334 runs at an average of 41 with 66 hundreds and 127 half-centuries. Now, not only that, but he also played 76 test matches between the year 2000 and 2006, amassing 5,825 runs at an average of 43 with a highest score of 219. That's also with 14 test match hundreds and 29 half-centuries. Now, that is a phenomenal player right there. Now, unfortunately for Marcus Trescothick, his international career was cut short just to his battle with depression, but that's something I really admire him for. He was one of the first guys to really step up and talk about that sort of thing. He eventually wrote a book and covered quite a bit in there. So that's really brave of him to step up and say that he had those battles, and I'm sure that's really helped a lot of cricketers over the years coming forward and talking about their issues. But I highly recommend you guys go ahead and look at some of Marcus's stats and look into his career. Absolutely phenomenal, and I respect him just for everything he's done for the game and the time he's really put into giving back. So that's everything for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys sort of think of that West Indies-India game and the potential changes I've recommended there. Also, if you're an English fan, I'd love to know whether you guys think you guys are negative or just really passionate. I tend to lean towards the passionate side. And Marcus Trescothick, let me know what you guys thought of him as a player, any sort of memorable moments along there. But as always, still getting used to this thing, any feedback on my content, how I deliver it, anything you'd like to see in future. But that's about it. Go ahead and enjoy tonight's game, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.